Oops. Hi, Fizia.
Hi, Oksana. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
Today, last news for the English weather is a foggy day. Temperatures it dropped down, but I'm so happy because it was too hot last week. Really struggle. But yes, I can't wait for our investigation.
Yeah, it's interesting you start talking about the love, and how it is a program. I mean, it's a program in the head. The whole thing is just the life as itself as a program, right? You get to a certain age, your hormones are turning on in the body, physical body. So you want to look pretty, you want to catch a guy or catch a woman and get together, have
Yeah,
kids. It's just like an instinct that animals have. They want to have babies, right? And we do too. But also everywhere you look, it's just what people do. And then I you asked me about, I've done this session before, investigation on twin flames and soulmates,
hmm,
which what I discovered that the soulmates were real ones. It's just the souls who've been on different planets, galaxies, maybe universes with you in different lives. You were together, and they happen to be here too. So this and they're multiple. There are lots of them. There can be 100 soulmates walking around. It just you have to get to a certain vibrational level with them, or they have to get to the certain vibration level with you to get together, to meet each other. Because as I see Earth, it's like a huge electromagnetic petri dish of people. Each people is like a little magnet. Each magnet has a certain frequency. If your frequencies coincide, you magnetize towards each other. That
fantastic.
would
Yeah.
be a soulmate. But then the biggest problem is this twin flame thing, because I've been looking forever for my twin flame. I was told by my guides in the very first session. That's when I didn't know anything about any of this yet. I just went to have a hypnosis session, right, when I woke up in 2016. And they said, well, it's coming, your twin flame. And I started researching on that. It makes no sense, really, because I am whole. And the way I looked at myself, I looked whole, my soul. But then they say that it's just like that's when your soul is split up. But then I discovered that it's just a distraction program that makes you, when you wait for something, it drains a lot of your energy and attention. It's the attention is taken away to something
Mhm.
stupid rather than doing something now. Yeah, Twin Flames is just like a fake program AI
Yeah,
generated.
I started to think a lot later. Maybe like I told you before, these days I feel a bit cynical, you know. Oh, I love you forever and ever, and they are now in this this massive matrix, which I call with the virtuality online, cheating online, people that they're cheating in Facebook, they never meet for like 2 years. I'm in a relationship,
Um,
whatever. So, I mean, look at that, and I mean, relationship, the difference between a relationship and a marriage, which a contract, they started for a young age to brainwashing you, because they says a man woman together, obviously, to to create a child and life. But then there are the stories, the Prince Charming, in order that the girl dream about Prince Charming.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes with his horse, it can save the princess, happy forever. Okay, so
Right.
they're starting to put these programs to children that you believe, and then the marriage is the crowning family, house, beautiful house, car, holidays. They created this picture. In the reality, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I say two people that real, they have a lot of affinity. People can call twin flame, because twin flame. Sometimes I think if I am a twin flame, means that is another me, but in version of a man, the same
Right.
like me. I mean, I barely stand myself. If,
Mm.
I don't even, so many things of me. I wish I can be better. I can be more pretty, more taller, slim. So I found out my twin flame probably says, no, please, just back off. Because you have to like yourself completely. You love yourself in a so high level that the twin flame is, then I can stay with myself. But it's like I love myself. I like I am a narcissist. I don't know. It's like a bit of confusion, But the twin flames usually I heard they meet only when it's the last experience in this planet, because twin flame says, "Hey, I go to the left, I go to the right, so we go to our experience, and then we come back to
Mm.
tell what we need." Soulmates for me is what we use to have in our life, companions, best friends, even in a platonic way, a
Right.
relationship that is a sexual relationship, and I believe in that there is this strong love attraction whatever. But why using the signature for a contract, for a marriage? Because marriage, remember guys, is a program. Okay, it's a ritual.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, like, I have a telepath, right? I do the sessions. She's from Ukraine. We do, you know, investigation sessions together. Her name is Katya, but it's in Russian, so language. So more audience we can capture from other countries who speak Russian, and she is her very first session was when she saw her soul. I think it's Grace who did it to her. They split up her soul into halves. And her sister, whom she's very close with, they're not twins. They're born different, like 2 years apart, and they both grew up in an orphanage. They are one soul, and they always felt it. And in that session, when she saw it, it's just, I mean, technically, this is like twin flames too, because that's what they claim. They claim that your soul gets split up into halves, but logically, it's impossible that this soul carries only a feminine part and this one a male part energy, because we are always 50-50, each one of us. And if you think of fractalization, then if a little fractal of a soul chips off, that little fractal has the same exact energies, both male and female, and other stuff, including
Mm-hmm.
information, like the bigger part. So no matter how many you chip off, like an acorn, each one will be whole self. So it just even logically doesn't make sense to have this.
Mm-hmm.
And then people get so obsessed. I had this client who was obsessed with fighting his twin flame, you know, and he kept asking me this question in a session, like when, because this medium told me I'll meet at that age or this year, and it never happened. She's bad, and tell me, you have to tell me, like, they're just really obsessed about this idea about what does it give you in life. It just gives you a fake satisfaction. It's kind of like going to the store and buying a new t-shirt, and like I'm happy for a day because I got something new. You know what I mean? Was I'm talking about all this Kardashians and all this. I never watched them. I don't even know if they still
Me
exist on
too.
TV.
Oh.
But it's kind of that's the idea. But it see how they catch us. So if you are not interested in material world anymore, here I'll get you something to think about and be focused on, like twin flames. It's all, cool and new age or whatever it is, and very spiritual, but you'll be sucked into this and constantly thinking about and searching for one. And then if you meet somebody and feeling like that's it, you'll be, and then what they prepare you for ahead of time was a meeting of the twin flame, you'll be very much alike, but you'll start fighting. You won't be able to live together and be together because you'll be like similar but opposite at the same time. You'll be struggling and suffering, and one of you will rebel and, push the other one away. It's
Hmm.
just, it makes no sense.
Because
Like,
if you are the same, I mean, there are. I mean, sometimes I. I can be so sometimes I say, "Oh my God, I shouldn't say this." I was maybe I do self-critic quite a lot, just to think, okay, maybe I shouldn't be so impulsive. Maybe I should say something. Okay, I have to apologize. I don't try to to say that I'm the good girl, the good girl that knows everything. But I'm the thing that I learned for a long, long time ago is to understand what is my limits and when I cross the line, when I'm a nice person or not.
Mm.
And then now I try obviously to be better and better. But with self-criticism helps you to put the feet on the ground, and usually people they think, oh, I'm on my own. Why don't nobody love me? Why he doesn't talk to me? She doesn't talk to me. The victimism, is what people they never accept reality, and they will, and this is why they want a twin flame. Oh, and they wait for the man. I mean, man or woman. I just say man now to sort it out their life, to fix their life. Or like the
Yeah.
woman materialistic, oh, I'm going to marry the rich man. You see, this is the programs to focus in that area of movies, like you says, this Kardashian stuff that I just saw in the news on time when they split or something, which I just scroll
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
Uh, and oh, the last one was now, is a program to believe, to dream to you, poor person, living with a very poor salary, mortgage, struggling with children, with a husband that don't even say hello in the morning, and you dream,
Mm.
So
It's
I
all
don't want to be
emotions.
negative, but guys, just I always says to the people that I do sessions, just to focus on yourself, what you really want, what you really need, how you can love somebody. If you want somebody because you need for yourself, I mean, if you are half empty, yeah, and
Mm.
you waiting for the twin flame, it just escapes if he see you, because you can't even love yourself.
Yeah.
How you can love somebody if you are half of the container of your body is empty, is drained, no energy. You look no happy. People they like good energy. Then there are the people the similar, the affinity, like I says. They go
Hmm.
together because you sad, I'm sad together. We can be sad and against everybody, me and you and the ants, and that is never work. So I believe in love. Love means when love is everything. It's even impossible to classify this name. The love that you feel about nature, your children, your mother, father, animals. But the
Right.
respect of first is your soul. The first that we neglect is our
Mm.
soul.
Yeah, it's we're talking about pure love, and that's another thing. There's so much fakeness. I
Mm.
was walking yesterday outside and noticing what people talk about, and some of them they're totally in their own world, telling each other, but she said and he said, and they're discussing other people, and they're just losing their own life.
Yeah.
Hear this noise?
Yes, my window is open. It was a
Ah,
I don't
okay.
know if it was a scooter. So I don't know why there is a scooter
Okay.
every time in the morning around this time. It's always
Well, that's
like a
somebody
big
that's
wasp.
stressing. Yeah, so I just you start noticing at certain time of your consciousness, whatever development, or you get wise enough to notice how everybody runs a program. Basically, the program is you feel so conflicted inside of you, in between the soul and conscious mind. Soul doesn't like what the conscious mind is doing with the body most of the times, and vice versa. Your conscious mind doesn't like what soul is pressuring you to do in life, the opposite of what you're doing. And that conflict is like, let me feel myself better by talking about other people, how bad they are, and that kind of puts me on pedestal how good I am. So that's just in young people. I start noticing what exactly. It's very interesting to. It just clicks in. It's a program. It clicks in. It's amazing. It's like even
Yeah.
in my children, I see it at certain age.
You see the movies, even they created the program with the movies. I'll tell you something funny, guys. Tell me if I'm right or not.
Hmm.
Now, before to the 60s, to the 70s, uh, there was a taboo if in a movie they show that they have quickly sex after a first date or second date.
Hmm.
Now they see each other. They are like, the first thing they do is they talk in this, or like they are to us
Right.
the same
Yeah. Promotion
exactly,
of that.
but the same as exactly the same sequel now in every movie. Now kids, when they see each other, because they are programmed, they are hypnotized by this, actors,
Hmm.
because I want you so much. And they are even telling you which would people that you can have experience or not. People even try different things just for curiosity. The sexuality now is a completely, I call Macedonia, like a fruit salad,
Hmm.
because people they are confused because they give you a lot of information, don't know. People they don't want to call by she or he because now we are we. It's like, what is going on here? So when we come
Yeah.
back about the pure love, I mean, this is what I channel is that when people they really want to be together, is not any contract, is not any program rituals like marriage and anything. Just they want to do what is to be together, no matter how. Because it says, my journey with me, what do you think? Yeah, yeah, we can work together. This is it. It's two souls that can be a group. They can create the other souls that join them. This the
Yeah.
children they arrive because they choose the soul
Hmm.
to a special exploration in the planet. But the rest here for me is I'm respect with the people that want to be married. I've been married too,
Hmm.
not for long, thanks God. And I can tell you that is, I felt after I divorced, okay, and the contract was breached. I don't know how guys to describe, but I felt free.
Yeah, inside, like you felt light,
Wow,
probably.
shifted. I
Mm.
did, sometimes even I forget sometimes that I was married. Honestly, so
Yeah.
this is me. For me, will be obviously was one and the last in my life.
Yeah, see, it's different programs. I was actually going through some stuff because, right, we're moving, and I found this little box. It's a golden, like hand like this, like two fingers up and the others down. Like I can see it like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a golden hand like this. And that was given by our grandma to one of the kids who were born, I think to my last one. This is made in church by whatever, go in the hand like this. I'm like, they even promote this symbology that all the stars, Hollywood stars, use at the church. There was a literally a baptismal gift or whatever she gave to us or whatever that
Mm.
was. You know what I mean? And then I was listening to one guy speaking. He's a former KGB, lives in France. He said, "Do you know this Russian world that they inflicted as like a big organization? It's called the Russian world." And the Pope Francis, or whoever, whatever his name is, in Vatican is one of the members. And then Kissinger is one of the members, and Putin obviously is the one who is, it's just like a terrorist organization. I'm thinking, no wonder Pope is saying like, let's get together and be in peace with each other. Like, how can you be in peace if they keep killing, over 1,000 children now, killed or wounded or whatever, burned up or I just, I just, the whole world is like, it's like Pandora box. You open one Pandora box, there's another one, there's yet another one. It's like, this big, small, so it's like a Matryoshka doll now, all of a sudden. Speaking of Matryoshka, there's one, a few historians I saw a Russian historian who said, by the way, Matryoshka is not a Russian doll. It's Ukraine. It's Kiev's
Really?
Rus. It's Kiev's Rus. Do you know how there was in Kiev? It used to be Kiev's Rus. And then they created AI with, operated by Draco reptilians, as I understand, created a little group of people that they well figured, well, we'll create another country that would be opposing and keeping a control, like a former Soviet Union, over the small other Slavic countries. And we'll call it Rossiya from the words Rus. Rossiya, Rus. You know what I mean? They stole because what AI does, it steals. And then this historian goes, do you know that the famous songs of Russian singers were stolen from Italian singers, German, French? Look at
Yeah.
the melodies were stolen, everything. Even the composer of the Russian song, the famous one for the anthem of Russia, it was written by Ukrainian composer.
No, you're joking.
Yes, yes, I'm not joking. And then he goes over and over, and he like, here he was
That
born.
is
Look, you
embarrassing.
can look at Wikipedia and everything. And I'm like, yeah. And even in the World War II, Ukrainian army was stronger than Russian because there's something about our spirit. We would stand until the end. We're stubborn. We used to be called stubborn, which I've been called stubborn in my life a lot of times. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's why, because I have a body who was which was, kind of like came from the in the vibrational frequency of that place called Ukraine. Because we kind of belong, no matter where we are. You're always Sardinian. You're from that. You
You
love
know,
the
very
rocks, the
strong.
mountain, in the sea. You love the soul. You come from nature, basically. And that's why you have the psychic abilities. Because like people from Carpathian Mountains say, only the people who were born in these very high nature generated places have this abilities. That's what their belief is, at least. So it's just amazing. And yeah, and I know a lot of people whose opinion have changed about a lot of things recently, because people are starting to not only listen to what others say and repeat it over and over. It's a program, by the way. You listen to a person you believe always says the truth, and then you repeat it.
Yeah,
You take it as your
even the same
truth.
words, exactly. The same words.
The same exact phrases, and they write it on comments
Yeah,
where like they're programmed, they're hypnotized by that.
even the move, you see, the body language. That
Mm-hmm.
is one in one course which I did. I was they teach us to look the body language of a person. Okay, and what is natural, what is not. Okay, example when even when you do this with the when you put your arms like that, if you put first with your left, some people put with your right arm, and they can say, the people that are watching, they can tell you if you are an introvert, extrovert,
Right.
the word they can start to talk with you because they see when they do that. I usually put my
Uh,
left on the top of my right. Many people they
I
put
did that
right.
too. I put
Yeah.
right on the. I kind of touch my heart with the right hand when I do that.
Yeah, next time I'm going to explain what a rare means because I don't want to take too much time. And then I'm preparing the map, by the way. Maybe we can
Mm,
have a look around the world where is the strongest portal that you can focus just before we leave, 5 minutes.
right.
But yes, and people that, like I says, they, especially people, they are editors, publicists, working in TV, in the, in the media.
Mm-hmm.
They create because they make like these statistics, and then when they want to sell something, I mean, information through the food, through a politician, through church, they
Mm-hmm.
can create a message when everything is body and what I say. and that people start because if you put morning breakfast, lunch, everybody eating, dinner, they can put exactly at that time the informations that has impacting your body and mind. Okay,
Exactly, yeah.
that what we check in, especially people they do PNL. They knows what I'm talking about it, which is the
Mm.
they was very big in USA in the 70s when they start everything. They study the body, your language. When you repeat the
Um,
same words, they even try to don't repeat the same words, negatives like I don't. For example, they don't say this word. They make sure that you say this because they try to sell you a book with the different methods, and that is what exactly they're saying. They do with the TV now is the biggest trading marketing,
mhm.
everything. They're even more than newspaper because people they're not even reading anymore. They use the
Right.
mobile and they do everything online.
Mm. Yep. Yeah.
Um, I
So.
was we was talking about implants as well, Oksana. I mentioned that I saw this is just for change is American show which is a UFO. Was interesting.
Mm.
You guys, you can check. UFO is basically they are shooting these days. It was an episode which was very curious of these people that are investigating about a soldier, ex-army that worked for USA Nation in the 70s. They witnessing a UFO. It was a black with the shape was like uh, what is this? Is a shape is like not square. What is the animal? The green little insect that if you press, it can make a big smell. Very bad.
A stink bug,
Uh,
mantis,
yeah, mantis.
grasshopper. Mm.
It was like a mantis shape. It was black. There was like there was this witnesses, and everybody was shocked about these soldiers. They says we have to don't tell anybody this because they can sack us. They says that we are crazy and they can kick us out from the army. They was in the 70s. Since that
Mm.
this guy was hunted, and then in one occasion, after I think 5 years later, because he had other occasions that he always saw lights, shapes, orbs, funny movements in the sky or sounds. He was even kinesthetic
Mm.
at some point. And he was camping with a friend. And then he saw this bright, bright light on the top of them. And this sound that was unbearable, like, when you use the radio and you something starting
Yeah.
to disrupt your hearing. And then it's like they receive like this laser of their bodies. They was completely burned.
Mhm.
Okay, to shortcut, he was in the hospital. Then they made the X-rays to understand why. Because people says, "How you burn yourself?" They says it's like UFO. Obviously, they says something they burn us. We don't know because they was even afraid. And they find out in I think it was the right knee or left knee, he had
Mhm.
this implant. Okay, that there
Mhm.
was proper implant that we work with implants usually
Mhm.
in a etheric, but this was definitely a physical implant that he has in his knee. And the surgeons, they didn't remove because they was afraid that they can causing even more problems to him if they can remove. So these investigators, they put some magnet and they can feel the change of the energy.
Yeah.
And now my question is, how many of how we can recognize that we are implanted? Because some people they can't see. Obviously, sometimes we need to go to put the clients in trance. We sometimes even us as a you know therapists,
How we can
operators,
tell that we have implants?
we can have implants, and but obviously we're starting to learn how to remove about ourselves or the help of a friend like you or if I
Mhm.
have or but our normal people, when they wake up with, especially with the needles, that syringe, this is
Needle
the sign,
marks. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
marks.
Yeah, like
or
super soldiers a lot of times say.
they want to be implanted, when they will be,
Mm-hmm.
what they need to understand, what do we need to do. You can have a look if you want.
Well, I just found somebody, just a name popped up, George. George Lucas, the second name. The yeah. And I see like a bed. This guy's lying on the bed. I don't know why he came there right away. And what state Tennessee right away came up. The big spaceship comes flat. I see the typical grays, short ones. Even though they have the grayish skin, it's more like a purplish skin. I've seen those before. Um, and they actually abduct him physically to do that. Sometimes I kind of go through a book like of days when they do it. Sometimes they abduct him physically. Other times I see that they have some sort of interesting technology. It's like a stick that has a different spinning wheels. It's composed of, and they spin in different directions altogether. And they illuminate this powerful light all around, and they create some sort of bubble. It looks like a bubble of just bright electric, kind of like this light, blue electric light. It's a bubble of light around his bed, and it's almost like creates like a surgical room or something, and they do the injections. There's something about this light and the frequency of this light that keeps him paralyzed. He's in paralysis. He can't move. Even if he feels something, he cannot move. I even see him saying something in his sleep, like from pain, because there's also some sort of machine. It's I don't see it attached to anything. It's kind of like materializes from the bubble above his head. It looks like rectangular projection machine, rectangular with the light coming from, and goes straight into his forehead like here, and it projects, I would say, like a movie, right? Like a movie in which virtual, it's like that virtual reality things that kids wear when they play the game, that they feel they're there. He feels he is in this movie, but they cover up the injections with something else. Like he falls down, pokes himself on a stick, things like that. Um, and then when it's done, the bubble kind of folds in, like becomes a little sucked in light into this stick, and they go into the ship and they fly away.
Wow.
I see, like, how to explain, it's like a circle with the rays of light, and they're different lengths, some shorter, some longer, still around this guy on the floor of his bedroom. It's like a spider web of light that's supposed to keep him asleep for a while after this. Because there's something about the substance that's going to spread out through the body in a natural way after the injection, and there's a certain time, and then this light disappears, kind of dissolves. That circle was much like a snowflake made out of light. Like,
Okay. Wow.
how he knows? I mean, he literally feels like pain in those where it was done. And even on the back, I see on the back of his back, lower back, he checks out in the bathroom because there's a spot there where they did the main injection, and it's kind of inflamed. It's inflamed and red. He checks it out. He's like, it's weird. So many at the same time. But there's also information, and I see him calling somebody. It's happened again. Uh, so he knows it keeps happening. He just doesn't know how to remove it. The problem is he's got 28 clones that are used in different programs. One of the clone, Fiza, I've never seen anything like this. I see like when I start searching for clones, I see one inside Jupiter. There's a caves, like they're not really looking like caves. They look like bright rooms inside, and one of the laboratories, it has some, how mercury, when it's liquid metal, like it's shiny, and it's like his clone is covered with a liquid metal. I see the whole laboratory with them, what they do, and I see, go back. I basically see a soul, and then the soul goes into the body of a clone in the physical matter, and I almost feel like the soul squeezed and squished and doesn't like it. I'll wait for the sound to go away. The sound was so strong, and then the soul is almost like screaming when it's pushed into the body of a clone, this little part of a soul that they split up ahead of time, brought from the lab. I don't see that this clone had a soul before. The soul was put in as a battery, and then it goes into the other, it's taken out of the tube, laying down on the some sort of movable metallic type bed with wheels, like a surgical table, and they have some sort of enveloping light, and the tube that's going directly into the spinal cord that produces some sort of, it's not a metal, Ephisia, it's just like this liquidy metallized substance that look like liquid mercury fills up every pore of the body, and that every pore, it strengthens the skin, it strengthens it. It becomes like natural protection without a suit needed.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Instead of to put inside, it's like they put outside because they don't know how to put inside to the soul. They don't know how to put inside of the soul because soul is like a consciousness. Is definitely the most high energy at the moment in the universes. This is why all the rest of entities, they are high energetic like us, the high energy. Even if they can have the most technological spacecraft and or UFO, but they don't have our body. This is why these people, they are people. I said, this being, they are struggling,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why they still are studying us, because I wondering all these centuries and centuries, these aliens always exploring why they didn't do nothing yet, why they still have to, in a physical way, I mean, why they show up themselves only when I think they have only problems with the machinery, with the UFO. I think they are defected, and sometimes we can see them. But why they don't do nothing. I know they already are inside of the bodies through reptilians, through presidents, leaders. Look, Putin or all these big evil presidents, dictators they are behind them. But I think they try to create a physical, you know, contact, but they was probably stopped, or maybe they made agreement, whatever. But they put. I think we are. I have a feeling that we are all implanted since we're born. So this is the feeling I have.
Fisher, when you said Putin, I saw a big round table with a lot of people. They are all reptilians, and they have infusion of Dracos in them too. Some of them are very tall and muscular, like draconians. Um, and they all controlling. It's like a remote controlled little Putin. Little Putin is a robot that is remote controlled by the huge group. And even if he dies, nothing's gonna change. This country is captured. Ephisia, it's all about the people now. If the people want, they can like separate from this big table filled with reptilians, and try to create their own little separate group. But other than that, it's just beyond possible to change anything in this country because everything's under control. Um Putin doesn't mean anything, just a figure, just something for the physical eyes to see, and to, and for the system to have, because system needs a leader. Here you got a leader. He's all fake. There's he has lots of. There we created a factory of dolls called Putin. We send them in different directions each time we want. He can live forever if he wanted to. He can live for 200 years, if you wanted to that way, because you don't know what's going on. You think it's a real person. It's not. Disease cannot kill that person. We can fake the disease and tell everybody that, oh, he's dead, but
Can you check if he has a tattoo? If the real Putin, the one that we
the
used to
real one
know,
is gone.
check if he's bald in the past. He had a tattoo, because apparently they have a tattoo. All this is like a group. They have a mark, and it can be even a small in a part of the body. Which I was checking. They have a tatuaggi eterici. Is it etheric tattoos? Um, that is very interesting.
Mm. When you said about the tattoo, I'm trying to look. Um, it's kind of like to understand for you how I'm looking. The particular body, it's somewhere in sarcophagus. It's under the sea level. It's underneath. So it's deep underground military base, whatever that is. Because they're doing they're just kind of, it's wild. It's like, in a way, it's breathing, or it's on, when person is in coma type thing.
Mm.
They can put like a soul in the body anytime they wanted to. But I don't feel like they're gonna do it, and I feel like what you're talking about is on his, the waist, on the back, something on the back by the waist, where it's usually covered by pants or a
Mm-hmm.
belt or whatever. So you can see it. It's not on anywhere else, but somewhere there on the back, where it's hidden. It's almost like a stamp to me. I want to say, not to like a stamp, like they stamp their people with. Um, and ooh, there's like a map map of wars that they're discussing. Don't to do more wars.
Can you just check a little bit? I know maybe I'm pushing you in this, but check if this guy they have the same mark. We can call tattoo, we can call stamp, but something's telling me that there can be even a wrong mole, but it's definitely a mark. There is a mark, but with the mark, the brand.
Yeah, it's like a technology. It's like it's not only a tattoo, it's also a etheric implant that is causing the physical body to have. It's just really wild what I see right now. You know this old symbol of the Soviet Union was that sickle and the
Yeah, yeah,
hammer and this thing. It's
yeah.
like on the left back of his upper bottom. I don't know how to explain. It's there on the left side. And it looks to me it's like luminescent. It's not. It doesn't look like black tattoo or colored
Yeah,
tattoo.
yeah.
It's kind of like shines through the skin, but it's actually how they mark souls that belong to them. The soul totally belongs to them. It's kept in semi-conscious state. It's totally filled up with Jacob reptilian programs. And it's the soul is mostly artificial now. It's kind of like the way they do it. They use the same soul. They take it from leader to leader, dictator to dictator in certain country. They upgrade it with new programs and they put it into a new body. But the person acts exactly as another dictator acted. Well, not in this country, sometimes from other country. But it's the same circulation of a soul or a couple of souls that just like made evil in simple language,
Okay,
right?
like Hitler. Can you check the relationship with Hitler and which soul has the same tattoo, basically brand, the same surrogates that they are using? So Hitler, after Hitler, we have?
Yeah, but I saw first like you know how they in the movie Matrix, the creator of a Matrix, like in a suit, then this
Yeah.
person changed into a devil looking like alien with a very long face like a horse, but you can see everything underneath the bones, like
Mm-hmm.
ugly white, yellowish whitish skin. And then that thing, that alien changed into the full-blown demon type with horns. The horns go like on the back
Mm-hmm.
and like the big red eyes and like ha 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 ha, like it soul belongs to me, like that. And that just one person, you understand? It's kind of like shape-shifting entity from devil to alien to creator of the Matrix, all the same, all one. It reminds me the Oz, the what's the book name, the story, right? It's kind of like a magician who created all this demonic possessed world of his and manipulating the certain souls he could capture by giving them power or money or whatever they wanted in the particular life, tricking them. Uh, so, but it's really, we can't, we, I feel like the focus of Putin is on purpose because the real evil is those people at the table.
Yeah, in
And
fact, this was the curiosity I wanted to ask you. Many of these at the moment, or even before, can you give me a number till the Hitler death? Obviously, before Hitler, we had Lenin, we had which was the other one.
The same program.
We,
It's the
we,
same program.
we had the kings in England, that kills wife, and Elizabeth, she was another evil um, monster. Okay, so they come from always a lineage, of evil. So after Hitler, how many there was created of these monsters? Give me a number. I mean, not necessarily we need names.
They needed the labs. The labs are in Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
The Hitler was safely evacuated to Antarctica. I see him flying underneath Earth, underneath ground in some capsule. And some sort of zero type energy like air suction pulls it through the tunnel system. The tunnel system ends in some dot. The dot is like a dome. From the dome, the Tesla ball, whatever it's called, like when you touch it, there's sparks from it, from your touch. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a dome with a lot of electrical lines coming from it. And it's taken from the earth itself, the electricity for to power it. And that's when there's a huge entrance to the big cave. Very tall ceilings, like immense facility, huge. Oh, but it's really interesting. When I look up, I see the sky. Um, there are these mountains, and they're more like craters. They're covered with snow, but some of them have openings. But they have some holographic things that they cover. So if you look from satellite, you would see snow, but it's a holographic snow. It's a technology to cover it. In reality, they have roof system that opens up and to absorb the energy of the sun. The energy of the sun goes and spreads through the cave system. You think it's electricity and it's lightning. No, it comes from the sun. You kind of drains it. It's like veins. It's like a system of, it's amazing.
Wow.
Um, they even have gardens underneath. I've never been to this place. I feel kind of good here, just wild. Because they took him to a different section where they do experiments, but this is more like but this is where the original humans lived or something. Because I feel like if I go outside it's not cold right now. I go outside. There's huge palm trees, immensely huge. There's huge interesting birds, like rainbow color, like bright. They sparkle. Everything sparkles. It's like eighth dimension or something. It kind of came to me as eights.
Hmm. Wow.
It's a Earth projection that is blending into this projection, and it's like a portal through which you get out and you automatically are here. Let me find somebody. I'm curious if I find somebody. I see monkeys. There is a person in white clothes, long, with golden things that close it, like this, hanging. Who are you? Eugenius. Eugenius. I was left behind when the other world was created. I was going home, but I got separated, and he shows separation. He made something out of his energetic hand, like a ball, and then he
Mm-hmm.
splits the ball. He says, "See, we were living in one hollow, beautiful earth with worms and abundance of water." And it just the noise. And I see some sort of gray, you know, a lot of gray spaceships are coming from behind, like he shows me. He does it through projection of his mind to my mind. That's how I see. He shows me a movie from his mind to my mind. You see, I see a lot of spaceships. They're like oval, like egg shaped in the horizontal position eggs. They're flying fast. And he says, and all the people are, I see like even little kids. They look exactly like our kids, but they have long hair, white blonde. And they're like running sides, and when they're running, some invisible energetic you know, like a gate drops and you can go there. That's it. Like the world ends here, and they got trapped in this reality because they can't go back to their villages, to their tree villages, as he says. So, and he said, we saw the world dying before our eyes because they can see it in their heads. He said, we have like what you have, plasma screens and all this in our heads. We are still connected to the world that they I see big reptilian face. He's showing me that those reptilians are destroying. They want to cut off all the trees, destroy all the natural resources, because natural resources are just like blood on the veins of the earth. It's needed for earth to energetically connect and move together in symbiosis. He said that's what it is. And in the meanwhile, as they destroy the nature, they destroy the frequency of good. The more frequency of good they destroy, the more it becomes a reptilian planet. And that was their idea, except even with the genetically modified humans, there's still a lot of goodness on the planet within the humans. So that's why it's a constant fight. But the base was a Third Reich base in Antarctica that was used for remodeling the soul. Molecular remodulation of a soul needed for the next incarnation to present to people to make it into a high figure of a leader.
Mhm.
So
So I check with my pendulum, correct if I'm, because that everything what you say is interesting, it makes sense. Um, it's like the DNA, you know, one is put in a lab for like centuries. I check that since Hitler we had 5 like him, okay, till now, and now we have only one at the moment active. Okay, so doesn't mean he's Putin because everybody think, oh, he's Putin. Can be a Chinese leader, can be an Italian leader. Any is like somebody that is can be behind the scenes or can be exposed. You know, the like, public figure, but is there is definitely can be, you know, people like people say sometimes Soros, people say Bill Gates, that is the top one of the people more rich because the pharmaceutical is you know, is one of the richest organization in the world, more than the petrol. Okay, so can be anybody, not necessarily a leader of a country, but who works behind the scenes, who, uh, let's say, sponsors you to do certainly things.
if is all you're talking, I got like the war of the reptilian clans.
Mm-hmm.
I saw America, I saw China, I saw Russia. It's mostly America and Russia. Uh, in America, I see a lot of snake people, cobras with nagas in black suits, in cloaks with hoods. And I see these buffed reptilians with muscular, very tall structure in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the snake people, they're more, I would say, intelligent in a way because they're interested in genetic manipulation of human race.
Mm-hmm.
More technology oriented, of course, if souls give agreement to that. So the more it's their integration and influence is more mild, okay, as opposed to reptilians. Reptilians is a war all like, let's turn the whole world into war zone, destroy all of them, take a small groups of genetic material, and just that's be it. The planet is destroyed. It's like their main program is destruction, okay? The
Mm-hmm.
if I look at America here, they're more working with different star rate. They're smart. They in exchange for some genetic material from humans, they would get some equipment or technologies from other star races. You know, they get the programs from Pleiadians. They have the ships from Arcturians. They have the genetic technology from Syrians. You know what I mean? They're trading. And it's better for us, for human souls, because it's easier for us to say no, and then they kind of have to respect that no. So we're not forced. In terms of Russia occupied territory, and it's like made it into reptilian state. This is more like no or yes, it doesn't matter. We'll get you anyway. That's what I strongly feel. It almost like gives me like a metallic feeling in my, they'll shoot you with a bullet or with a rocket, like no matter what. It's like no choice. And that's why all the forces of America and the see, America is like a main headquarters. The Europe, what we call Europe, is just like a mini headquarters. And all of them got together to fight off reptilians because they want this place to be a big genetic lab for the whole universe to make it stay the same, which reptilians wanted. All reptilians primarily wanted for something from underneath the earth, like what we call resources, but there's something else. There's crystals, there's crystalline structures, there's ancient spaceships with amazing technology that they want. That's what they want. They don't care about people, okay? They can grab a bunch of people for genetic material to trade it for technology, but that's all they care about. They want the land for themselves to turn it upside down, to get all the big giant crystals that we have. We have literally giant crystalline structures, bridges, like castles, balls. Some technology that looks like sticks, tick, 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 like glass crystalline structure sticks put together. Um, Sewn together energetically, and they can do something powerful, energy producer, an accumulator, something like this they want.
Mm-hmm. Look, before you mention all the types, the races, basically races of these aliens, Arcturians, Syrians, Greys, etc., etc. How the real me, you, the real soul that we think which sometimes our DNA can be compromised, but we are souls. How we can call ourselves the one that come because we are basically channeling, traveling from a portal. Then we can go in a second with the portal. How we can classify ourselves, the people that we think we are good, yeah, that we don't want. We are against all this genetic manipulation. We are all against these wars. We are against all these reptilians, snakes, insectoids, Arcturians, greys, etc., etc. How? the real soul can be classified, the one that is untouched or at last just a little compromised, that is for the good.
Thing is, like each race has its own bubbled AI generated reality where they put souls. They create the program of a life in each reality. You think you're living a life, but you're indeed are just like in prison, captured for energy. From each bubble that drain energy, there's a huge kind of like on top there's a huge connecting tube that goes into their planets to Alpha Centauri, all those constellations where they Orion Belt. I see each star is connected with a tube. We just don't see it with physical eyes because it's just energy
Mm-hmm.
sucked out. That's basically it. They're just simple thing. They catch us for energy. Fizia, you are doing some, I would say, heavy lifting job. The whole thing. I've been looking. You're just loading something on the spaceship. Was it's a huge floating rock platform system, which is very interesting. You usually see platforms flat, but this one is looks like a cloud, but it's made out of rock. And it's like a structure made out of rocks, like a cave on top of it. You carry something, some energy solutions, some energy substitutes. They're gonna neutralize something evil. That's what you say. And
Mm-hmm.
also some containers carry souls. They need to be remodulated and reshape. The molecular structure has to be reshaped because something was done to them due to some it's almost like chemical substances because I see gels or fluids in some labs, and they were done by the tall ant looking kind of aliens that you saved. And you go by yourself. I don't see anybody like you. You're in this black rubberized suit, and you got these things like seashells on the sides, like you're listening to something, commands or participating in some frequency, because I don't hear voices. I hear if I hear it like close to you, like like sound waves, but you know what they mean. Uh, and I'm I'm a technician. I just know I'm like an engineer. I don't know why I feel this way right now myself. I feel like I'm fixing ships. I'm using what they taught me, and so basically, I was always an engineer on this one planet, and UTW planet. Uh, and when they took me to Earth, forced me to incarnate, but I still remember how the engines of the ships are made. There's a big ship squad from the good projection of Sirius. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
it means. Good projection of Sirius, where the original values were saved when we were attacked by Nazis. Um, and so people had to Syrians had to escape there, and a lot of them dead. And those who did, they're fighting on the kind of side of good against this. We have to clear up a lot of spaces, but it's not like the war really anymore. It's a smart war. It's a technological advancement war. That's what it is. So light, sound makes technology that is unbearable to those species. And that's what we use. And that's what the ammunition and the boxes that you're putting back and forth. And I'm like checking the spaceships. There's one spaceship I look at. It's like a donut, and inside the donut there's like a spherical command um sphere and a donut around. It's like inflated, like it looks beautiful. It's like light gray, but then when it goes into space, it sparkles with all the colors of all the universes and stars, so it becomes pink, blue, green, and all these colors. Um, that's what I'm checking. The energy flows on the donut, and the headquarters command is inside in that spherical. The way the sphere and the everything has to be round for energy to be fluctuating, to be always floating in the right way, never being stopped. And that what you check. I check with some device. I have some device. I'm like, it's like a handle with a like a telescope thing, and it's like listens to it and sees if the energy is frequency or vibration, because I see at the screen and I see like it has to be a certain wave, and I check if it's certain wave. That's what um but yeah.
Yes, I was checking because when I channel, I can see that, I mean, definitely we are in a group, a lot of people like us, people that think like us, that are against everything that is wrong, because energetically we know we are magnet, we are natural magnet, and we can feel straight away when something is wrong. Even that we know what is the temptation, we know when something is not right, or even
Mm,
when we change, it's not me. I don't feel that is me. Or you have I work with frequencies. This is how I help people to rebalance their body when they are affected, help them to remember. Okay, not because I'm magic or I'm a guru or whatever. Because I'm working with frequencies, when I put people in trance, I help them to remember what they are. So this is why I work a lot with body memory, body therapy, and emotional. I had my last. This is probably why you see me with the rocks. I'm very connected with rocks, crystals, and because they absorb a lot of energy. Also, these rocks can give you the energy you want, but be careful, because if you are in a wrong frequencies, these rocks can give you the energy very wrong. So that can be toxic
mm,
people, toxic situation, toxic location. Because to finish, because we are 1 hour 13, I was checking here, Oksana, the main portals in the world. You know, portal they change. One day the big portal is in the east, in the west. It's not always the same place. But
okay.
now I was checking. I want to say east or ovest in the world, east west. I check what is the main portal right now. Checking with my pendulum. It says it's east. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Mm,
East probably is. I can say. Uh, is it Europe or is somewhere else? North or south? I can say it's south and north, and then you can have a look. Yeah, it's north or south? I have north here. So north can be Europe, can be okay on the top, like Norway, Iceland. But I would like to ask you, in these portals,
mm,
everybody arrives from that portals, like Samarkanda, yeah? You know, Samarkanda was the main market 1,000 years ago with Uzbekistan, was the door between East and West. In this case,
mm,
we share in the same portal with all these beings Arcturians, Syrians, and we don't know how we can call. We didn't find our name, by the way, but we use it the same portal or because I know it's frequencies, yeah, because everybody arrive with a different frequency, yeah.
Portals are locked. A lot of them are locked, and the current unity of some people are getting it unlocked because when we get united, certain just like let's say Poland and Ukraine got united, and that unity creates certain frequency, creates certain like a volcano frequency that opens up stargates and portals.
Hmm.
Mm, and that's why people feel like uniting. It doesn't matter if you consider those organizations good or bad or NATO, it doesn't matter. It's all about the unity. We should see right now, I see the old terminology is kind of gonna fail at some point, and we're gonna create new frequency inside those old groups. And those groups, instead of gray and dark, gonna be bright and light. And they might have the same names, but they might flip
Hmm.
completely.
But at the moment, where they come from this low energy? If we don't use it, because obviously we have these portals. We can even create a portal right now in my room, but sometimes I need a very big concentration, meditation, and then sometimes you go in a place like, example, here in England we have the ley line, which they are absolutely amazing. But I know that sometimes some portals they can bring you a bit of everything. It's like,
So they're trying to push out the all these 2D entities like devil like with horns. There are a lot of them live in Kazakhstan because people there are good mostly. But there's a lot of darkness there too. I don't know why I went there to be honest. Um, there's then goes Serbia. There's some countries that I see that are really trying to be, they are influenced by reptiloids. Hungary. Oh my gosh, this guy. He is a full-blown reptilian, very tall. The skull is massive. Yeah. The guy in charge of Hungary, president.
mm-hmm. Orban.
Yeah. Oh, he's got some sort of like massive. He's like a huge fighter reptilian. Like I'll show you. You know what I mean? Uh,
You
he
can
tries.
tell something, just a quickly note about Orban. They can carry on. This guy that he preach legality or is against, is homophobic with his messages. Is always, I mean, this guy is really controversial, and we know Hungary that is the most, is the biggest, production of, porn, and they make a lot of money. And I know there are a lot of corruption as well, but everybody knows that. It's important to understand what the people they have under their nose a dictator, definitely a reptilian, a reptiloid, and and they said don't react. Why? Because they are like them, because they have the same DNA, they have the same brand, the same tattoo. This is why the portal they are arriving, and that can
Mm,
affect even childbirths, so that where they can find quickly a container.
yeah,
Yes,
lizard. I see a lizard, and I feel like they do a lot of genetic experiments on people, like injecting lizard DNA into them.
mm-hmm.
It's a whole idea. So
uh,
first you put a dictator or a person in charge, and then slowly you spread the propaganda. You hypnotize basically people. Only the strong ones will be against that dictator. The most will feel like, well, that you turn on the huge, very strong survival effect also. You're gonna lose everything, your home, food, everything. We're gonna do something to you if you don't trust the leader, or put him on pedestal and pray for him, for him or whatever. But yeah, it's the same system. Other systems have to be broken by other European countries getting united, because now is the time to break the old. And we're gonna see a lot of old being broken. Kind of like in Ukraine, that everybody accuses of corruption. I think it's around 563 or whatever that was the number of members of the government that were pro-Russians and were sent by the Russian KGB directly from Kremlin to infestate Ukrainian government to control everything. That's where the the all this stuff was done on purpose. For it's kind of like, okay, Russians are coming. Since we got the government members who are pro-Russia, we'll we'll organize everything, destroy all the links, all the connections, all the weapon supplies, all the everything. We screw everything up for Ukraine to lose. You know and now, like, you can see the news. Zelensky keeps firing and firing people because all Russian KGB sent by directly by Putin, by those who are behind him. That's how you infestate. That's how you infiltrate any government, and then you spread the dictatorship on the country. But it's not gonna work. It's just not the time to
Mhm.
work.
Can you
Time now is
locate
different.
can you locate the portal exactly in which location is where all this stuff is going out? Because we're going to stop, we're going to shut at last, I know it's the keeping it, but we're just going to piss them off. And we're going to shut the portal for good. Can you check with that? Was that exactly location?
Portal
North.
of whom? Portal of whose? Of what? I see a huge portal over England.
So I checked. It was in the north. It was in the north, east of the world. So
I,
where
Iceland there, I see.
there is a volcano, which
I see, but I see it just, I kind of get the names. Bermuda Triangle that I always get. Iceland. There's a big one in Ukraine, which is supplied by the Dnieper River, where it's the widest. See, it's like an artery of Earth, of planet Earth, the Dnieper River, and it goes into other rivers,
check.
right? It
So
blends it.
they are connected with the reptilians, or like I said before, I was trying to understand if we share the same portal or are different portals.
Portals can be taken over, and that's what I get. That they're being in over England. It's gotten taken over by the human souls and their incarnations in aliens. It's like, let's say you are here aphesia, but the other body that I see you're not aphesia, and that who's not aphesia helped transmute the portal into a different one. If you change the frequency of light and energy of a portal, it becomes a different portal. It
Mm-hmm.
cannot be used by low vibrational beings anymore, because you have to uh, mm, be on certain frequency of the same frequency of the portal to be able to use it, and they cannot. Even with their technology, they cannot use it. Uh, that's what I feel like it's been done. The portals are being reformed, transmuted, transformed, into those that only positive ones can use. You actually, you and me broke some big spider web thingy. Spider web had like a big egg inside with human souls who died unexpectedly in the war zone, and they were sucked into this. They're literally like magnetized inside, and it opens up like a lid and gets them in, trapped. I saw how you destroyed it with some sort of interesting. He had like a weapon, looked like a hammer, but you hold the hammer by the metallic part, like the white part, and there's from a stick comes like a ray, like electrical frequency wave, and it hit directly on one of the spider webs connected to the egg, and the egg got cracked and the souls came out. It's just so.
So basically, all right. So if you can, but all together, me and you are going to focus, and we can shut all these portals that they are creating a lot chaos and problems with this low energy vibration. Also, in the next episode, something that really touched my heart, especially you, I think. I would like to help all these souls, at last the ones that have still also the NA, all these poor young soldiers use it like flesh from
Mm.
Putin when all the bodies they are left rotten in the streets.
There were
And
in that egg too. There was a mixture.
yeah, and I mean, I feel for the mothers that they don't know what's happened to their son, with their children dead in this absolutely absurd war. And as a mother, when I read that a mother is looking for her 19 years old boy that he thought he was going to exercise, they basically throw him in a war, was not even trained to fight. It breaks my heart. So, and next week, I would like to, if we can help all these children to find the peace, because they're not buried, they are rotten, and and I feel their soul. Sorry, okay, in the background was the probably the ambulance was passing by. But anyway, that was a signal, by the way. Yes. I want that help these poor children, this at last this energy, these frequencies to find the right to come back home basically, where they come from and in peace. I don't know if you
Mm.
understand what I'm talking about, even to give peace to their mothers. Because I'm a mother, you are a mother. This is terrible, okay? And whatever these people, these reptilians, are reptiloid, they're using people because they always sit in. This is why I really dislike leaders. This is why I don't like any of them. For me, they are all the same because they sit in their desk and dictate the life of everybody, and they are
Well,
super
remember,
protected.
joystick control. Big group of
Yes,
reptilians controls. It's not even a person, just kind of, you know, living a life like a doll without any.
this is why you saw me on my own, solo, because I don't like
Oh,
to
you got some
be.
interesting thing. I kept looking at it. It's like a watch. It goes like it's like half oval, and there's a rhombical structure on it, and there's like a golden thread on it, crisscrossing like this. I kept like looking at it. It's so interesting. But yeah, on the
Yeah,
left wrist, on the left hand, you have the watch like this, but it's a device. It's for some sort of device. Yeah.
like compass.
Um, yeah, I think it's almost like a space map, I had a feeling.
I was checking here. I don't know if you can see the compass, how they are, yeah? When he was talking,
Right.
I was
It
looking
spreads
there.
the hologram if you touch it in certain, rhombus in certain angle, you touch it and it shows you like some picture. I thought it was a map you were looking at, like where else you're going next. It's like a working map.
I was maybe checking the before the portals, And for some reason, when you
Mhm.
say the watch, I thought about that, and I see that maybe you can see that.
Ah, something like this. Yep,
Yeah.
but it was like a rhombical
Ah,
thing.
yeah. This is more a star, like the north.
But the idea is four
Yeah.
corners. Yep.
Okie dokie. I think we covered up quite a lot
Okay.
today. So
Thank
you've been
you.
great,
See you
like
next
always,
time.
Oksana. Thank you so much, and was amazing as
Yes.
usual and always. So next week, guys, we're going to cover up interesting things. We've been talking about the new universe that they even find out recently. Did you check? They
Mm.
have the pictures, the maps.
Oh
They
yeah.
call, I think they call Roger. Is this special? I don't know, telescope that they can go to other
Oh
universe.
yeah, I don't remember the name of it. Yeah. Yeah, it would
Apparently,
be interesting.
apparently there are other universe which we knew it anyway, dimensions, whatever. But this, they find that the new planets as well. So
Right.
it's real or not? Still, always make skeptic sometime conspiracy
There's
theories.
so many universes around. I don't know. Just you can catch one of them easily. Just kind of open up a little bit of people's minds, little by little. So,
Perfecto. Stay with me and see you next Thursday.
okay, thanks. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao,